Hi Sagittarius, welcome to the full moon in Aries for October 17th, 2024. Full moons close out cycles, and the direction that your reading is going in is number 6, intention, playing it safe. It did come up upright. This is feeling maybe fenced in a little bit. From the book, it says there's a circumstance, a relationship, or even a place that you are choosing to stay in out of familiarity, inhibition, or self-doubt. You are making the assumption that something familiar is predictable and therefore safe, but that's not necessarily the case. In fact, you may actually be limiting yourself and also limiting the joy that you could be experiencing in your life. Only when your choice to stay is based on a sense of genuine joy and a feeling of self-honor does this decision resonate with your heart. It's time to look at all the options and know that you are resourceful enough to break through the fence of your own making. The abundantly beautiful world is yours for the taking. Join the celebration. That's in a nutshell from the book. This is the direction that the reading is going in. This should be interesting. 6 brings adaptability and adjustment. It brings harmony and balance. And that should be your intention. But your intention here with this card in particular is playing it safe. So let's see where this is taking you. The first set of cards is where you are at the time of the full moon. And it's also if you are consciously finishing up a cycle or closing something out, then you can find that information here as well. The second set is you, what you're thinking, what you're doing, how you're feeling. And the third set of cards is probable outcome. Probable because some things you can change and some things you are meant to experience. Both of them are for furthering your growth, although we all understand that we learn more from the difficulties than we do the easy stuff that happens in life. So it may not always feel like that in the beginning, but in hindsight. All right, let's have a look here. Mostly minor arcana, so this is reflection out in your outer world. Now you do have one internal card, the major arcana here, which is a biggie. It's not anything to sneeze at. Okay, so let's just start at the beginning, which is the 8 of Pentacles and the 3 of Swords. So the 8 of Pentacles is Venus in Virgo. I'm sorry, it's not Venus in Virgo. It's the Sun in Virgo. The Sun in Virgo and Saturn in Libra. Maybe work is taking you away from what you'd rather do. Or perhaps you're avoiding some heartache through work. Because the 8 of Pentacles is very much about removing distraction and just getting the job done. It is perfecting our craft, but it feels a little bit like avoidance to me, especially with that playing it safe card. The Sun in Virgo is very much about being conscious of the details. And so it is very much craftsmanship working. And so maybe you need to block any distraction rather. That 3 of Swords, however, there can be things that are a little bit mentally and emotionally difficult for you. But the 2 of Swords is what already made the cut. The 3 of Swords is dealing with the pain. And for me, it feels very much like we want to distance ourselves from it. And that can be the playing it safe kind of energy, right? However, The Three of Swords, once we do put the Band-Aid on, it's about renewal and regeneration, reconstructing. 3 is a very creative number, and you have 3 and 8. And the Eight of Pentacles is also very creative. It's craftsmanship. Perhaps there can be some inclement weather. That's also the Three of Swords. That kind of keeps you from doing anything, so you have to stay working. But I think you prefer to. This feels to me like you just prefer it. But there could be some things at work that maybe are a little distressing that you need to block out. That's also possible here. Okay. The High Priestess is a very secretive card. It's the things that are happening behind the scenes. 2 is about assimilating information, right? But it's also, especially with that Eight of Pentacles, envisioning what you want. And that helps to reconstruct, helps you to envision what it is that you want to change with that Three of Swords, right? That creative sort of energy. And the thing that you don't want to create is more sorrow for you or more distance. But that seems to be what's happening here. You're creating some distance, especially by, just removing yourself and saying, okay, I'm just going to work, right? I'm just going to do that. And that could be creating some distance. Well, the High Priestess definitely asks you to kind of go the middle path. Don't go to extremes. It's very receptive energy. It's lunar energy, so it's receptive. So I think on an emotional level, I think we're playing it safe because we don't want to be hurt. We don't want to receive that pain or, what may happen. It's sorrow, it's pain because it's the Three of Swords. And it feels to me like it messes with what you deem sacred or divine. Whatever happened in the past it feels to me like that's where the avoidance comes in. I just don't want that to happen again. I just don't want that kind of energy to happen, so I'm going to distance myself from things and people or situations. How you're behaving now, however, or what you can do in the situation is the Seven of Swords, which is strategy. Now the negative side of the Seven of Swords is betrayal, and it's also unstable efforts. It's the Lord of unstable efforts. So it can be open enemies. But here's the thing, this is how you're behaving. So for me, it feels more like strategy. And the strategy is to remove yourself from old emotional baggage, from things that maybe used to be fun or that you used to enjoy, because it's on an emotional level. It's the Cups. And you're putting a lot of energy behind this. Now, it is very empowering to let go of things, but you're strategizing here. Seven of Swords is a bit sneaky energy, so you could be lying about it, right? You could be fibbing about it. No, I can't make it because, my big toe is swollen, or, that sort of thing. It's kind of like telling a white lie to get out of a situation. Well, I can't because I have to work early tomorrow, or whatever. You just don't want to go, basically. And so it can be that kind of strategy of saying, no, I'm not going to do it because. But it may have something that been quite fun and interesting at some point. This is Saturn in Pisces. And this is the moon in Aquarius, so that's very aloof kind of energy. You're dealing with more lunar energy here. So that's, being distant. And then Saturn in Pisces, it's kind of like, it's a decision to let go of something, but it was a hard decision. It was something, done with a heavy heart. Letting go of something with a bit of a heavy heart. However, we do have this Ace of Pentacles coming in here. And that may be something that we are strategizing, right? Well, I'm going to forego this because I'm going to really work on my artistic projects and, get a show going and that sort of thing. There's kind of sublimating or replacing one thing for another. There's the Ace of Pentacles is my spring timing card, so maybe spring is the trajectory for some of you. It is a general reading. This is a seed that you plant now that if you nurture can grow into a nice money tree later, or, it gives you something in return. There are also challenges. You can see the mountains in the background. There's challenges there as well. And things can change. You have the roses and you have the lilies. And so, there can be some changes along the way, along this new path. But it is a new seed that you can plant now. So maybe you're strategizing for that, right? I'm not going to go to the movies tonight. I've got better things to do. I've got other things to do. I've got strategies to deal with. But these, again, are things that are going on in the background, right? And it's being very secretive as well. It goes quite well with that Seven of Swords, actually. The outcome is the Tower and the Six of Cups, which is the Sun in Scorpio, and the Tower. Okay. Tower is the energy of Mars. These are unexpected things. It can be a bit shocking, certainly unexpected, and it can kind of shake up our belief systems. But whatever was not firm or strong is going to fall, so that you have the ability to rebuild on solid ground. And very often the Tower is sort of a blessing in disguise, because maybe in some way we didn't really want to be in this position, or we really didn't want to go there, or we really didn't want to do that. And the Tower sort of frees us. It's like the hand of God that wipes away what is no longer necessary. So it really is sort of a blessing in disguise. It's just unexpected. And this can have something to do with the past, friends from the past, people from the past, situations from the past. That's the Scorpio card. It's very much about reminiscing. It is the sharing is caring card. And it can be, like I said, with people from the past. So maybe you hear news about old friendships or old place or something like that that is unexpected or a little bit shocking. This causes a little bit of agitation. Five of Wands can be conflict. So it may be arguments or conflicts with people that you knew from the past that you just was not expected. That's possible here with this trio. It can be teamwork. It doesn't feel that way to me, actually. It feels more like agitation. So whatever happened can cause a little disruption in your situation, in your life, or just within the life of the people that are experiencing it, if it's not you. These can be lively debates, so you may have some discussions over who was right and who was wrong, or, what should have been done, that kind of thing. Yeah, I'll leave that there. So what does Spirit want you to know? Wow, you have the Christ energy. Open the door to the kingdom of heaven. That for me feels very much like the High Priestess, because the High Priestess is your sacred and divine structures on which you build upon, right? On which you put your details upon. It's the very bones, the very essence of your internal world. It's nice energy. Okay. It feels like a mixed bag. This feels a little bit separate from this, so it doesn't feel like it's almost like you hear something or something happens to people from the past. But that doesn't mean that, it still doesn't affect you. You have some nice things happening here with that Ace of Pentacles. Thank you for listening. I hope this has been helpful. I will return in 2 weeks with a new moon reading. Until then, take very good care, and thank you for watching. It's appreciated. Bye for now.